I feel like it's just pretty standard. Somebody said Soul Link, and I'm gonna guess it's Winter Lily, so no.
When two trainers eyes meet, a Pokemon battle must begin.
Oh, Javier suggests Dupe's Claws. No dupes. Here's a question for y'all Nuzlockers that I find curious. When y'all do Dupe's Claws, and this includes you, Lyra, do you count it where if the Pokemon you had died, is the Dupe's Claws for it still in effect? Or can you catch it since now you don't technically actually like have one? Because I've seen it both ways. So like, you know, if you lost your Scatterbug, can you still never catch anything of the Scatterbug community? Or can you now catch another Scatterbug if it appears?
The Scatterbug community.
You know, the community of Scatterbugs. Rule of thumb is still counts for Javier.
If it's a Pikachu, catch it ASAP.
Ah, the Lyra Claws, as I like to call it. Oh wait, they're wild Eevees. So, you know, the Tails Claws. My claws. Catch an Eevee. Definitely in effect.
Wait up, let's walk together. I feel like something sad will happen if I stay by you. Play your Pokemon whenever you want me to. Shout out to this mechanic. Where it's like the following person that heals you, but you talk to them to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that is.
So, Lyra, can I make a confession?
Yes.
Okay, everyone's gonna bully me since I started with red version. You know, I played through Fire Red and Leaf Green, played through Yellow countless times. I didn't recognize that this was an exact copy of Viridian Forest at first.
Neither did I.
Oh, like okay, cool.
I don't think most people did. Like, it being put into 3D does make it look really different until you play Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Everybody gave me shit. Also, for fun fact, Nyx actually did immediately recognize by the time they were halfway through it that it was Viridian Forest. To which I'm like, how imps?
Mm-hmm.
Also, go get more food, Blood Drainer. It's a copy of Viridian Forest? That's what it's really like.
It is.
So on that note of not realizing, yeah, it's just the 3D version of it, but it is Viridian Forest. So we have this little fire girl.
Well, also, it being Viridian Forest, it did not age well with remaking Kanto again in 3D.
Name the bird Jean Grey. So, Blood Drainer is back with I have pretzels. However, I'm gonna suggest Pretzel as the name. Perfect. Phoenix. Pidgey! Aww. I say pretzels.
Perfect.
There we go. Perfect.
Is it E-L?
I think it's E-L. And if not, we're just spelling it in a cute, quirky way.
Yeah, we're just spelling it in a cute, quirky way. Alright.
Antidote.
This is... oh. Oh, monkey.
Alright, the monkeys are here. Oh, alright. So this is a trip for me to go through because I had stopped at this point playing both versions of the game, so I got at least 2 experiences with it. I actually only played through X version of this, and when I played X version, I didn't realize how big the to catch Pokedex was, and I made a challenge for myself where I couldn't leave an area of the game without catching every Pokemon that was in that, like, adjoining route. So I took forever everywhere.
That's Pikachu!
Oh, Lyra Claws is in effect. You gotta get that shoe.
Oh, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So, sounds fun, Tails. Actually, it was. For as slow as it made the progress, it made it so that I didn't beat the game for like a month. Which, like, as you know, when like a new Pokemon game's out, like, you can get through it in like, depending on your free time, you could easily get through that in a couple days. But honestly, I still say that I think the slower pace helped a lot because one of the issues people had was how much talking there was. And when I have like several days in between seeing these characters, it does not feel like they're talking all that much to me. As opposed to if you tried to rush through this in 2 or 3 days, that is a lot of the other rivals stopping you for stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question. Should I catch this Pikachu or should we catch the first girl Pikachu we see?
I say this Pikachu. And you name them Lynn.
Yeah, a fair point.
I really like the way they render Pikachu's eye in here.
You know how to convince a gal.
You can't see me, but I'm giving like a wink. Pikachu, let's see, Pika. Some encounters are 5 to 1%. I say throw one Pokeball. If it gets in, it's fair game. Pika's still Pika and has static.
I think Pikachu is actually one of the more common things here.
Viridian Forest, but better because more Pikachu. How long after this game was what's its name released? Was Let's Go Pikachu Eevee?
I believe 4 years.
Okay.
Want me to hear your Pokemon hacking game?
Do you know that people still consider it a spin-off?
They sure do.
Which is amazing to me because I don't see many people arguing that Legends Arceus is a mainline game. And like, if you're gonna do one of the two based on how different it is...
Oh, thank God. If people stopped that because it was just as much hard. This is just a spin-off when it was first coming out.
I think people have stopped it. I have not seen it the way I've still seen what's his name referred to as a spin-off. X and Y was 2013. Let's Go Pikachu Eevee was 2018, so 5 years.
I was off.
You were close, Lyra.
Curses.
Yeah. Snuffles. Name the next Pokemon Snuffles. I'll have to see what names we get. Andrew is saying, I love the Elemental Monkeys line, with my top favorite of the 3 is Simisear line. Was the main reason I played White all over again is because I wanted to use it. Pardon? Why does it look like it doesn't want to be here? Like, the way its eyes are is like, look, bro, I don't want to fight. Fire type to fire type. We don't need to do this.
So do we want to hear my early Pokemon X and Y experience now?
Yes.
So, picture it. You're a young Lyra in the year 2013. So, I was homeschooled until like 5th grade. So basically, until everyone said Pokemon is for kids, we don't play that anymore.
Alright.
And I got a bit of like, I joined a swim team, and I got a bit of like playing with the people on there during Generation 4, but I was... Oh, that's the exit. What was I saying? Oh yeah,
Uh,
Generation. I was off the swim team by the time Generation 5 came out.
mhm.
Why is it always hands here?
No other monkeys, only Pansier.
So, Gen 1 through 5, for the most part, Pokemon was just like a thing I played by myself. One of my sisters played a little bit. They kind of got in a bit in Generation 3. We're in decently well while we were on the swim team for Generation 4, and then we're kind of like easing out a bit for Generation 5. So Generation 6, has a much better online than I was gonna say any other game before, but any other game, period.
Yeah.
On top of that, I started interacting with people in 2011 online.
Okay.
So, this game was the first time I was able to, like, engage with the launch of a new Pokemon game with other friends who were also excited for the launch of a new Pokemon game.
Oh, nice. Also, I'd like to note that the monkeys have an equal 10% chance each to be showing up. All three have 10% chance.
Beautiful.
Wait, don't judge me, Tails. I think Simisear is an neat Pokemon. I'm not judging you. I'm just like, why are there so many Panseers that Lyra's dealing with?
Yeah, like I have one Pokemon weak to it and two neutral. Like nothing I have can really hurt it all that super well. Yeah, so that was like, oh thank goodness. That was a nice fun experience. On top of that, I when I turned this on to like make sure it worked, and like ran around a bit, I was like immediately jettisoned back to 2013 when people didn't have 3 sets of rose-tinted glasses on for 2D Pokemon art. And I remembered people before X and Y was shown off were disappointed in the 2D Pokemon art. Like they were like, man, they could do so much better. Here's some like concept of like how we could improve how it looks. And when they were doing that, I was like, man, they'd never put. I don't like to be negative, but they never put that much effort into the stuff. And then they did the 3D. I was like, oh snap! And they made it look even cooler.
Javier says, shout out to the fact that the PC isn't available until the first gym. Good times.
It's fine. Hang on a second, heckin' gay. Okay, I found a puzzle. So I watched everything more closely than you might think. I feel like that's a part of her personality we don't really get to see.
At all.
Like,
does that ever come up again, actually?
So here's the thing, like, we don't really get to see much of Tierno's dance shenanigans in the game, but we do in the anime. We don't get to see much of Trevor's nerdiness in the games, but we do in the anime. We don't see that bit of Shauna ever. Not even in the anime.
I'm so upset about Tierno having a thing that would have been perfect for the new contest, and there's no version of contests in this. I will never not be mad that they were like, oh, here you have a character who's just here to explore. Here's a character that's here to fill out the Pokedex. Here's a character who wants to be the best battler. Here's a character who wants to have fun with Pokemon in a completely different way from battling. And you didn't actually give us the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, have a good one, Blood Drainer. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Imagine being heckin' gay. Can't wait for Irene to show back up in Pathfinder. Oh.
No.
I'm trying to remember how I felt about the 3D sprites. Because here's the thing. I want to say that I was fine with them, but I have a feeling I would have liked them a lot more, except everybody I was around at the time hated the switch to 3D. They hated the switch to 3D on the Pokemon, and they did not like the style of the models for the humans. So it's one of those, did I really just feel neutral about it, or did I really like it, but everyone around me disliked it so much that it became neutral, you know?
Mm-hmm. Super effective move. Feels so nice. The super effective move on a Pokemon needs to train. Mana, look away. Mana, don't look.
Oh. Hi, Mana! Yeah, like the chibi style, Javier. The way the sprites look. I want to say that people didn't have a problem with the full version of the sprites that we see in, like, battles. But yeah, like, all of my friends hated the chibi style, like, for this, the overworld characters.
Heck and chew.
Oh, and I remember the only thing I didn't like about the chibi style, personally, was that if I remember correctly, when you put on your clothes, they give you the full model. And then, like, when you come out, you're in the chibi, but some of the stuff doesn't look quite the same when you're in the chibi one. Like, it feels like it goes longer or shorter.
Mm.
And it was just sort of like, just let me dress the chibi model. I, like, wasn't even against the chibi model. It was like, just let me dress it then. You know? If it's gonna look different, let me just put the clothes on it so I can see exactly what it's gonna look like. It is really weird that you dress the character in a different model than you're actually going to use, actually.
Mana says, I like it. I like X-Way. Everyone can fight me.
So, in fairness, as Lyra said, I think most people were very excited. I think I had the odd experience out in that all of my friends who played Pokemon, like, vitriolically did not like it. Which left me feeling middling towards it, which, again, did I feel middling, or did I really like it, and I've just tempered it down to that because everyone around me disliked it? Metapod! Oh, Metapod is cute. You can kind of guess, since the chibi model clothing gets previewed before putting it on. So XOI is 10 years old. Shush! Shush! That messes me up so bad, because it's one of those ones, what you think Pokemon was 10 years ago, and it shows, like, Ruby and Sapphire as, like, what Pokemon actually was 10 years ago, and it's X and Y, and I'm like, no. No.
Metapod's still like the hardened, right?
I believe so.
At least in the wild.
Javier says we're getting old. I love X and Y. I lost my shit though when I realized they made a new evolution. The fuck you mean X and Y was 10 years ago, says Lily? So Lily, how are you doing?
It's fine. It's not 10 years old until October, which is 4 months away.
It's only 9 years old.
It's only 9 years old.
Javier, be quiet. I don't want to feel old. Which Lily says, what the fuck do you mean X and Y is 10 years ago again? We're feeling.
Lynn is now the level that they started the campaign at.
I'm proud of Lynn.
Shout out to them, Pikachu starting with Tail Whip. Shout out to Pikachu getting Tail Whip before Quick Attack. Oh, now I remember why I keep forgetting. So yeah, on top of that, on top of all those positive, vibes I had going into it, just excitement for the visual overhaul, actually being able to interact with a community that was excited for the games for the first time in my life, and on top of that, the anime had been at a bit of a low for Black and White, and then X and Y came out, and it also was just like an extreme visual overhaul, looking way better than it ever had. So what I'm saying, so basically all this is to say, I turned on the game to preview it and was suddenly slammed full force with this game may actually be about as nostalgic to me as Gen 1 or 2.
That's valid. That's some peak Pokemon time right there.
It
Most
may be,
everyone
yeah,
excited about the change.
yeah. It may be the most nostalgic, either tied or maybe even more.
Mm-hmm.
And if not,
It's right up there.
right
It's
up
like a
there.
close second.
And aside from that, this was probably the most positive experience I had with Pokemon, like with how with Pokemon's current state.
Mm-hmm. I love the last art in this one. They're so cute.
Indeed.
Fun fact. Oh yeah, the Pikachu's Rika Masumoto. Mana says, "Well, gotta go. Work. Shame I can't kill your entire party." So anyway,
Rude.
goodbye, Mana. Have a good day at work. So, do you want to know a not so fun fact, Lyra? I do believe that in the Japanese versions, the youngsters are called shorts trainers, and the lasses are called mini skirts. Yeah, don't like that as much. Oh, there's a note I want to make about the Pokemon clothing choices again. So, Kalos as a region, for the most part, isn't a very harsh region, you know? It's pretty level. There's clear pathways that are built for people to travel on through most of it, you know? It doesn't give the feel of, Kanto, where you're climbing through a mountain quite as roughly, you know? So, to me, not that it doesn't have any of those points, but just it feels like it has less overall. So, to me, it never felt odd in Kalos if you were wearing, less than ideal shoes. However, it fucks with me greatly that, you can play through all of Sun and Moon in, those impractical strapped heels. You're walking along these sandy paths with heels where the only top part covering is some freaking straps, and I'm looking at this, I'm this is a nightmare. We're traveling up this mountain and this is here. I would perish. I would die.
Oh yeah, this place even has ride Pokemon for all the rough terrain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's is it impractical to wear the shoe? Yeah, but not as much as you traveling up the volcano path yourself in these shoes, and in the short, chic, super expensive looking dainty blouses. So it's that is just also one thing that's always bothered me. It's in Kalos, it just feels like it makes sense with the way the routes are built. Is it does not make sense in future stuff. I can even give it a little more in Galar, since Galar has, even though it's got the rougher patches, in my brain, it's it's gonna be a little bit more cleared out, since Galar, the gym challenge, is its own very set thing. So it would make sense if the paths for it were just a little easier to work with. But when you're climbing the wild in fucking Sun and Moon, I'm why is this allowed? My feet are dead. I'm not running anywhere like this. I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. I can't wear heels without falling. I know it's unrelated, but it's true. No, that's the point I'm making. They're not really good shoes for travel. But yeah, I just always wanted to bring that up as a very a thing that I always do notice. Because I always liked to change my clothes, and it always made me the most upset, is that you can't get cold weather clothes until you're in the place with the cold weather, which I understand on one point, but on the other, when I'm traveling up through the ice beforehand, I'm I want to be able to put on a warm-looking outfit now.
Wow, you caught a Pikachu. I did. Ah, finally.
A different monkey. Kalos is practically a region that's friendly to just explore for old and new Pokemon fans. I will stand by my headcanon. This is where all the rich kids go to have their first journey, because it's the prettiest and it's the safest, like, one. You don't throw your kid to Hoenn for their very first one, you know?
You don't throw kids to Sinnoh for their very first one. You're gonna climb a snowy mountain and you're gonna like it. No, you don't get a Mamoswine to carry you through the snow.
Oh, I loved climbing up the mountain in mine. The Mamoswine ride was so nice. Like Dawn, covered in mud and like dripping wet from the melted snow. The what?
Oh man, Sinnoh is like king of... Are you sure we can't catch the girl?
Also catch the girl. Name her you.
Perfect.
She stays safe in the box, though. But, no, but Sinnoh is truly the ruler of both it being slow, but also it is just unequivocally the wettest region. Like, and that's part of the reason I don't particularly like it, just because, like, as much as I love rain and stuff, I wouldn't want to travel in it. And it just always feels like it is raining, or there is swampy, or there's the snow slowing you down. The safari zone is the Great Marsh. So it's literally like a goopy, slow marsh. It's like, it's not a good time.
What do you think I'm having to juggle? Especially considering how big of a complaint it was when the games first came out. I'll say it after this. So you got here first. Seems like Neighbors was someone who has a lot of potential. Guess you should have followed Shauna. She made it here second. The way Pokemon move is just incredible. I would show off some of that spirit when I dance. Tierno, could you think about something besides how Pokemon move for once? We're all here. Let's go to Santaloon City. That's satisfying how we all move together like that. What are you gonna do? Well, I look for Pokemon, of course. Professor did ask us to complete the Pokedex after all. It really is interesting how these characters are about as good as the Scarlet and Violet gang in terms of overall execution for the opposite reason. The Scarlet and Violet ones are just far better characters, but they don't interact enough, whereas these guys are far worse characters, but they're always interacting. Yeah,
so it gives you more bouncing off that's actually pleasant. Yeah.
Professor did ask us to complete the Pokedex after all, but only one of us has to do that, right? I mean, there's no reason, no like point to having like 5 completed Pokedexes. Like why do the 5 times the effort to do the same task? You know. Ignore the fact that Tierno is always losing to you, no matter how few Pokemon you catch. I want to see somebody just like do a solo run where they just only catch one singular. If they only use their starter the whole time, and see if he still is like at the end, like, oh man, one Pokemon, he got me beat. Because he has a team of more than one. He has at least 2 Pokemon on his team by the end, so he just unarguably will have more than you. I just want to see if they actually change the dialogue for it.
So Lyra,
what's up?
So in the future, when it comes time to play X and Y again, I know what challenge mode you should do.
Only
all
Delphox.
Fennekin run. Only Delphox.
Sounds good to me. And further, different Pokemon prefer living in different places. To put it another way, it's a chance to find different Pokemon than the ones in the forest. I'll bet different Pokemon will use different moves. I sure want to see lots of moves. What are you gonna do, Caleb? I'm gonna go to Santaloon City's gym and take on the gym leader. So, you know, Pokemon trainers test to train by battling gym leaders in each of the Pokemon gyms. Wow, you sure know a lot. I learn a lot from others. Here, have something for you guys. Adventure rules. I wrote down 10 tips every trainer should know. These are for you too.
So I never realized that the back of Trevor's backpack is like a smiley face. I never noticed that until now.
look in those rules if you're confused about something. It's a shame nobody does like Nuzlocke of X and Y because they've got like a very nice cast of characters with fairly blank personalities that you can play with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody plays X and Y.
Yeah. This is definitely outdated, but I know like a year or so ago on the Nuzlocke forums, I did a pass through of all of the versions just to see what was active, and by active I meant uploaded or like had been updated within the last year, and X and Y was like far below any other category by a good chunk, if I remember. I think by the chunk of like the next one up had 10 more active runs.
Oof.
Yeah.
You know what this means, Tails.
Don't say we in this.
We? Heck yeah. Look at those rules if you're confused about something. Woo! Oh, this is great. You're gonna go spend some time getting to know the little chef spin. What are you gonna do? Heckin' gay? Oh, you know. Be heckin' gay. So, as somebody who'd been playing Pokemon for like 18 years when this game came out, I have not once opened this, so I'm curious what the 10 tips are. Rule number 1, open the menu with X. Number 2, save. Number 3, catch Pokemon Pokeballs. 4, weaken Pokemon to catch them. 5, battles to help your Pokemon gain experience and grow. 6, heal your Pokemon at Pokemon Center. 7, buy more items than you think you need. Oh, you know what? That's a fair one, actually. 8, talk to everyone you meet for information. Rule number 9, when you get lost, check your map. Rule 10, enjoy your journey. Okay, you know what? It started off like real generic with stuff, but around 7, it was like, okay, these are tips someone might be able to use at this point.